Today's test is all about Hondas. We got VTEC versus BTEC. What the heck is BTEC? So I'm sure you're all wondering, what is BTEC? Well, imagine this, running boost on a non-VTEC motor. Boost, non-VTEC, BTEC. Perfect, right? It's awesome. We got to cover more than that though. Running boost on a non-VTEC motor, pretty simple. But we're going to cover more than that. This is for the guys that don't really understand what VTEC is, why it's awesome, why it's good for boost, and why boost might be a replacement for VTEC. Everybody confused? Okay, Honda guys, I want you to talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to explain to the V8 guys what VTEC is, why it's so awesome, why we would want it, and why we got to replace it with something else when we don't have it. So talk amongst yourselves. Okay, V8 guys, this is for you. Here's how awesome VTEC is. Imagine you've got an LS, small block Chevy, big block Chevy, Coyote, whatever you want. You run it up on the dyno. Then you do a cam upgrade on it, and it makes even more power, especially on the top end. But unfortunately, your big cams lost power down low. So now imagine having the power curves from the small cam and the big cam and combining them together so that you have the best power curve of both cams. That's what VTEC is. Now, toss in this. You have all the driving, the low-speed drivability, the fuel mileage, everything from the small cam also. So all the part throttle stuff is awesome. You got all the wide open throttle stuff, you got all the part throttle stuff. That's why VTEC is so cool. That's why the guys that have V8s that don't have it are really kind of jealous of the Honda guys that do. Don't lie, come on, I know. Here's why we want VTEC. Big, wide, long torque curve. Big, flat torque curve. Big, broad power curve. That's what VTEC does. We got the small cam, we got the big cam, everything works great. But what a lot of guys don't know, especially maybe a lot of the V8 guys, Honda doesn't have VTEC on every one of their motors. In fact, they don't make it for a lot of them. D series, B series, A series, a lot of these engine families don't have VTEC. Now obviously we would like it, but on the combinations where we don't have it, there's a substitute. That's called boost. So naturally today, we're gonna take a look at a combination that doesn't have VTEC, and we're gonna add boost. In this case, it's a B series combination, a B18A. B18A, B18B, you know, in the GS and LS Integra stuff. Good motors, but no VTEC. No B16A, no B18C, no B18C5. It's just a simple non-VTEC B series motor. That doesn't mean it can't make a ton of power, especially when we add boost. Now, the hot setup used to be, take this B18A or B, add a B16A head, and then you got an LS VTEC. That's cool, it makes a lot of power, it's a good combination. But short of doing that, I mean, it's probably cheaper and more effective just to add boost, especially with the low buck turbo kit. I mean, you can add a ton of power for not very much money. Now sure, the ideal combination, have both. Put a VTEC head, cams in it, a good intake manifold, then add boost, and then you got a ton of power. And if you can afford that, that's an awesome way to go. But we're gonna show the guys that didn't do that didn't do the LS VTEC hybrid, that just want boost, because there's a lot of those guys out there. And boost helps everything run better. Before we get to the results of our test of adding boost to a B18A B 1.8 liter motor, we need to think about this. You know, I get comments all the time, and most of them are from the V6, V8, V10, the V12 guys. Hey, why don't you step up and get a big motor, make real power, and show you what it's like to really go fast? Well, that's a good point. And if you want to do that, if you don't have a motor, or you don't have a car, and you're trying to build something and go really fast, get the bigger motor. Bigger motors make lots of power, and it's easier to go fast. But that assumes the following point, that a guy's sitting on the couch, he has a stack of cash, he's looking on the internet, wants something to buy, and has to decide between a Honda or a Corvette or a Camaro or a truck or whatever it is. That's rarely the case. In fact, I don't do videos for those guys. I do specific videos for guys that already own their combination. In the case of Honda stuff, I do Honda videos. LS guys, they get their own. Coyote guys, I'm not trying to persuade somebody to do something else other than what they're doing. I'm just showing what happens when they upgrade what they have. And that includes the Honda stuff. And in this case, it's even more specific. It's not just general Honda, it is a B18A or B non-VTEC 1.8 liter motor. Now, for you guys that haven't installed a VTEC head on there, this is the alternative. Trust me, I know. I've modified these motors, specifically the non-VTEC B18A motor. Now I tried camshafts in it, and guess what? It picked up power at the top. Guess what else it did? It lost power down low. So it did what a camshaft does in almost any application. It trades power. We gain power at the top and lose power at the bottom, which it does in almost every application, which is why VTEC is so awesome, because we don't have to choose. We get the best of both worlds. But guess what Boost does? Boost does the same thing. We don't lose power anywhere. All we do is gain. So Boost is a multiplier of what's already there. So I'm going to show you what happened when we installed an inexpensive CXRACING Turbo Kit on a 1.8 liter B18A in an Integra. And guess what? It's all good. To test the effectiveness of the Turbo Kit from CXRACING on the Integra, we installed this thing up on the chassis dyno at WESTEC. After installing the Turbo Kit from CXRACING featured a T3 TO4E hybrid turbo and a 0.6 AR on the cold side and a 0.63 AR on the turbine side, 38mm wastegate, and a cast iron exhaust manifold. It also featured a front-mounted air-to-air intercooler. Now, prior to installing the Turbo Kit, we upgraded a few things on this combination, on this 93 Integra. We installed a set of 440cc injectors and a bigger in-the-tank pump. This one was a 255 liter per hour in-the-tank pump. So to make sure that we had enough fuel, both from the pump and the injector standpoint, because we were adding boost, you got to have more fuel. We were controlling all this. Ernie from WESTEC back in the day was controlling this with a Chrome, so we could dial in the air, fuel, and timing. All of this was run on a mixture of 91 and 100 octane race fuel, so we could kind of put the screws to it. Now, this B18A had previously received head studs and ring gap, so we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to hurt anything during this testing, but otherwise the internals were stock. Now, I don't have the baseline NA runs for this thing, but it's going to be in the 125 to 130 at the tire range, because we would have run it with, it had a catback exhaust in it, and we would have run it with a header and the air intake system on it. So that's kind of where they all are. After installing the CXRACING Turbo Kit, we ran it at about 7.5 pounds, and then we would adjust the boost up from there. And run at 7.5 pounds, it made 212 horsepower and 190 foot-pounds of torque. So you can see it's got a nice little power curve. But obviously we weren't done there, so now let's take a look and see what would happen when we turn the boost up. Now we turn the boost up to about 15 pounds. Big jump there in power. So run at 15 pounds of boost. The power output of our B18B motor jumped up to 275 horsepower, and peak torque was up at 231 foot-pounds of torque. So big gains, you can see. And as you can see, once the turbo spooled up, started increasing the power here, a little bit before 4,500 RPM. So this is a good curve. As a matter of fact, we were revving the motor out probably farther than we should. Out as far as 7,500. Naturally, they took the rev limiter off this thing. And you don't really need to rev it this high. 7,000 is a real good number for this. We're already on the downside of the curve because this thing made peak power, around 6,500, 6,600 RPM. So let's take a look and see when we turn the boost up a little bit more. At 18 pounds, 298 horsepower, right, real close to the 300 horsepower number. Peak torque checked in at 255 foot-pounds of torque. So this thing was working really well. I mean, this was a good combination. And this, it's not the same as VTEC. It's not beyond the same as running it out to 8,000 or 8,500 RPM and, hearing that cool noise that it makes. But Boost does a lot of good things. And have a nice torque curve like this makes this thing drivable. We didn't have to change cams in this thing to get it to rev. Boost is an awesome thing. Now again, ideally, VTEC and Boost, but short of that, this works awesome. Let's check out those boost curves. Now let's take a look at the boost curves associated with those power curves we showed you earlier. This is the 7.5 pound range, and as you can see, boost rises up from a little above 2 pounds at the 3,300 RPM. So even down there, we were making a little bit of boost, which definitely helps with torque production, helps get the thing going, helps the thing come up on the boost. And then we have a fairly nice and flat curve above 7 pounds for most of the curve. Now remember, this is with a manual wastegate controller, so an electronic controller might put this a little flatter, but this is actually a fairly nice curve considering this is a very inexpensive turbo kit. So let's take a look and see what happened when we increased the boost level. So basically we doubled it up to 15 pounds from 7.5, and you see the curve coming up is exactly the same. But instead of rolling over on the wastegate opening at 7.5 pounds, now it rose all the way up to near 15 pounds. Again, that's a pretty flat curve now puts it into perspective. If you look at the curve on the 7.5 pound range, now that we have more scale, it actually looks a lot flatter. So this is a good combination. Again, manual controller, things are working out really well. Let's take a look at our last run at 18 pounds. Again, rose up past the point where it opened up for the 15-pound run, climbed all the way up to a little over, a peak of around 18 pounds where it made 310 horsepower. This is a good combination. It shows that the only substitution for VTEC is BTEC. Let's get to our conclusion. Okay guys, what did you think? What did you think about the test of the turbo system from CX Racing on our B18A Integra? Now obviously, ideally, the best situation, VTEC B18A with boost. But since we don't have that, we can run a non-VTEC also with boost. And guess what? It's nothing but good. We made a ton of power. Of course, it took a little bit of boost, and it's better to prep the thing. Things like ring gap, head studs, obviously you need the right size injector, a good management system like a Honda or Chrome or anything like that. You gotta make sure you have enough fuel pump. You gotta have all of that stuff. Otherwise it doesn't work. But when it does, especially if you add ring gap, you can make a lot of power even with a non-VTEC motor. Thanks for watching guys. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. I got more Honda stuff coming up, more LS stuff, more Coyote, more small block, big block, you name it, I test it all.